Hi everyone. Looking forward to an amazing time together. Hopefully the information will inspire you like it continuously inspires me, especially when I share it. And it's Rosh Chodesh. What a holy time. And it is Rosh Chodesh of the 9 days of Av. So today we're actually going to continue the health class sessions of this support group, and we're going to focus on two things which really has to do with the 9 days. Okay, we're going to focus on the pleasure principle of our mouth. We're going to focus on the pleasure of all the things out there in the world, including food and including everything out there that like really takes us away and almost diminishes our soul capacity to be able to feel the pleasure in godliness, the pleasure in praying and learning, the pleasure in being able to experience one's true self. The ability to not feel numb, blocked, and like, out of it. To be able to physiologically, mentally, and emotionally, and spiritually feel alive, and that your soul is free. And this is what we're doing during the 3 weeks. This is what we're doing during the 9 days. Trying to realign ourselves. Trying to really help ourselves get to that place of the redemption of our soul. I want to thank Sarah also because she gave me this book, Getting to Know Your Soul, and a lot about pleasure and how to really channel that pleasure into godliness. Now, so many people will tell you, do what you need to do to make you happy. Do what you need to do. And yes, it's true. More than any other component is like the ingredient to your future health is a state of happiness. But when you learn today, when you go through your days of diving into pleasures that actually are not really going to lead to happiness. I always say you have two plants. One plant is a poisonous plant, and you're not going to give the water to the poisonous plant. You want to give the water to the fruit-bearing tree that's going to give you sustenance. So when you give into these pleasures that for a moment you have a happy chemical, for a moment you're like feeling good, but then you just gave into your animal souls, especially if it's something very destructive and something very not healthy for you and something that's going to cause you to be sleepy and tired and eventually empower your animal soul to be more angry or more depressed or more anxious. So I just want to quote a few things here from the book to help us really align our pleasure. And then we're going to go into some information regarding detox, because during the 9 days, anyway, we are not eating meat and chicken. So why not spend the time today to really inspire us to not eat chicken, to really understand that all these sparks of food we need. Chassidus teaches us we need the sparks of the animal kingdom. We need from all the kingdoms. But there's a time, and Hashem tells us that these foods also give us a lot of pleasure. And let's see the vision, because this Shabbos is Shabbos Chazon. The vision of what our life is going to be like when we direct our pleasures toward more godliness, toward more true happiness, what really makes us happy. And that is when we're free. When we're free to be how we want to be. When we're free to feel good. When we're free to feel love. When we are free to give. When we don't feel blocked. That's the vision. And yes, sometimes you have to take a little time to reconstruct yourself during especially these 9 days, so that we'll be ready when Rosh Hashanah comes to celebrate that we are celebrating our King. It's now the time to do the tshuva, of looking at our life and seeing where did we align ourselves with too much pleasures that were detrimental to our physical, mental, emotional, and again, spiritual well-being. Yes, free. So look at here. It says here, giving into pleasure, okay, weakens your ability to deal with adversity because your soul is more buried. We learn that we come into this world to circumcise our heart. You know, in the Torah it says, not just the 8-day baby. We're talking about our heart that needs to be circumcised. That's the mission statement. Okay? So if you indulge and indulge and indulge, you're adding to the klipas, to the shells, to the blockages. You're adding to the very opposite of your mission statement of trying to free your heart up. That's why it says in the Shema, and I hope you write this down, this is one of my meditations every day, is don't go after your heart's desires. Because your heart's desires for the moment might make you happy, but there's a pay cost at the end. The blockage of your heart, the numbness of your soul. So, this is Getting to Know Your Soul by the author of Bilvavi Mishkan Evneh. You're trying to build your own sanctuary. You're trying to get closer and closer to your holy of holies of your soul. But imagine you're taking a car and going reverse, you know, because that's what's happening. You're going the opposite direction of circumcising your heart. You're going the opposite direction when you go after your eyes. By the way, in this prayer of Shema, you could stop and think about where are you going after your eyes. Whether it's the scrolling too much on internet, whether it's the food, whether it's whatever, shopping, clothing. So the example given here, and I don't say the author because they did it, anonymously. They didn't want their name on it. So the example given here is that imagine someone's so thirsty and they are, they see, I've been at the Dead Sea, but there's the water at the Dead Sea, and they start to drink the salt water. And the more they drink, they're going to get more thirsty. So it's like the more you give in to this unhealthy pleasure, especially unhealthy, but also too much healthy, too much healthy food is not healthy. And I went through that, trust me. My husband was making amazing sourdough, spelt, and kasha bread, and I could eat a half a loaf or more. It was healthy. Oh, I'm getting grains. Oh, read Grain Brain and other places. Like if you're really not eating organic and very, well processed and farmed wheat, whatever it is, like it's really disastrous on your brain and more. But so we're taught that man is born and woman to delight in Hashem. If we delight in other foods, we're giving power to our Yetzer Hara. Remember in Tanya it says that the Yetzer Hara doesn't want you to sin, like because the sin. And he doesn't even want you to sin so that you'll be sad. He wants you to sin to be sad and feel guilty and feel lowly of self. So then you'll indulge in the gashmian, in the material, to like appease that broken-hearted, guilty heart of yours, to then indulge and escape the inner psychic warfare that's in your mind that you failed again, or you didn't succeed, or whatever it is, from that sin. So not going after your heart's desires is actually a mitzvah. To not feed the animal soul's negative tendencies and give it power over you. So we see that nega, the word nega, has the same root letters. Nun gimel ayin, which is which is a blemish. Noga, Noga, Nun Gim Ayin, is pleasure. We take too much pleasure, we get blemished. We bury our heart. We fed our animal soul, and it has a power to take our fire, our water, and our air, and our earth elements, and then drive us to be more angry if you're fire tempered. Drive us to be more destructive with your air element and argue. And take your earthy element and make you more depressed because you overindulge. And actually, the Alter Rebbe actually teaches us that even regular like eating, sleeping, whatever, doing things not l'shem shamayim gives power to your animal soul. So how much more so when, you're indulging, and it's not eating like because I need body health and I'm hungry and I'm faintish because I didn't eat, So we get blemished when the pleasure is overdone and to the expense of the pleasure that we could have developed with our neshama's powers of pleasure. Now, yes, honestly, I was reading here that, like if you have a very high, water bill, let me tell you, it's we have so many bills every day, and then, sometimes you have extra gas, and you're like, extra air conditioning bill, extra water bill, and you're like, oh my God. But like, imagine you have no gas, and what's the reason? I didn't do anything different this month. Why is it such a crazy bill? So then they get an inspector. For whatever reason, the meter was connected to your neighbor's apartment as well. So the mashal is that we have this expense because we're taking the pleasures that's not ours. We have a certain level of pleasure that we need to use in our life to elevate the material. That Tanya talks about. We have a portion of the world. But when we overdo it and take someone else's portion, then we have an expense. It takes its toll, and it has its effect. So it says here that we have to really be careful to reach a place of vitality, not from the physical, from the spiritual. We have to get vitality from peace within, the calm within. But if we're feeding our animal soul, it's getting stronger and stronger, so you're going to be more anxious or more angry, as we said. Like, there's no peace. From a place of peace, by the way, I would say being at peace with the process. It's very challenging to deal with life, the pressures, the to-do lists. Too much going on. For whatever reason, that God gave you that lot of your challenge. But then we go and feel like we need peace and quiet and let me enjoy some time to myself and eat to my heart's desires. That's counterproductive. Especially when it's foods that are very damaging for the short term. Your brain doesn't work. Everyone sees me at classes. Why don't you eat? Why don't you eat? I'm like, are you kidding? I can't eat before I give a class. Otherwise my brain slows down. Even when I eat right, it's just my brain doesn't work as well. Besides the fact that how can you, use your energy to digest the food and then speak? It's too much. So I think I should speak more. Just kidding. But so the idea is that, my goodness, we want to get to a place of calm and peace. So we have to learn how to feed our neshama and not feed our animal soul. So then we're even more stressed, more anxious, and feel more need for something to calm us down, which is a second. when I was battling my challenges, and I had challenges, I was a food addict. You know, I was a sugaraholic. I loved all the wrong foods, knowing how it would make me sick, and didn't have the power to control myself. And we talked about that in other classes, how so many books write of people who have amputations, and I witnessed it, and they don't still change their, you know, their habits. It's very difficult. If you're feeding your animal soul, it takes over. So the spiritual aspect of training by praying and meditation and learning, and I have many classes on yournewheights.org and books that I wrote, but now we're going to, so, you know, you want more information, go for it, you know. But now I really want to focus on these 9 days. And these 9 days where we're trying to redeem our neshama, like we're trying to redeem the Beit HaMikdash. And yes, God wants us to have pleasure. It's not that we have to go in a cave and not deal with the world, but we have to have harmony and balance and figure it out, because there's a lot of confusion out there. I mean, I'm telling you, because I watched one video one time here and there on health, like that's what they send me, you know. So when I'm in areas where I can't, you know, learn Torah, I'm putting my makeup on or whatever, so I here and there, I listen to some of these videos, and it's crazy how it's opposite like information. So everyone has to kind of figure it out for themselves, what works for them. But I can tell you the things that I've been doing has been working for me and other people. And that is, first and foremost, get your animal soul on a diet. I'm not talking about, like, you know, get it to have less hold on you. That's the first ingredient. If you don't have that, forget about it. You can learn everything. It's the same thing with parenting. I have so many parenting classes. I read so many parenting books. I have a master's in child therapy and a bachelor's in child psychology. Oh my gosh. But if your animal soul is taken over, you can't use that information. It's here, but it didn't go here, where the animal soul needs to be rectified and elevated by that information. And that's the spiritual practices. So that's first. Second is be at peace, because it's going to be a journey. It's not like, you know, oh, I passed high school, I'm done, you know. I got my degree in high school, or my whatever, you know. No. It's a lifelong journey. You know, they talk about alcoholics. Don't go to the bar. You're going to be tempted. Well, we have to eat. And it's very tempting. And it's really not easy. It's not like, okay, I'm not going to go to the bar. You know, how many weddings, how many bar mitzvahs, how many ufshurins, and you almost don't want to go. It's so hard. And then you give in, and then you feel bad, and then you're headache, and you're tired and nauseous. Can't wake up the next morning. It's a battle. For whatever reason, Hashem made this battle. Remember, milchama comes from lechem, bread. But with joy. With joy. The Lubavitcher Rebbe actually told someone who couldn't lose weight, did everything. And he said, well, maybe be happier. Work on happiness. Because not being happy, stressed, anxiety constricts you, doesn't let the flow happen, so that whatever you eat just goes where it needs to go to. Another story that I actually heard from a chiropractor. And this woman came in for like neck problems, and she tried everything. And she was very rich to be able to try everything and pay big money for big, you know, things, nothing. And so all of a sudden, you know, she was getting aligned, and she noticed, and the doctor noticed that she was losing weight, and the doctor asked her, I mean, the holistic practitioner, I call them doctors, they're just as grand as doctors. They've studied a lot on the skeletal and everything. Anyway, so the explanation, and I saw the video of it, and I want to, next time when I go to her office, I also want to show her the video that of explaining it better, because I'm not an expert. But so the doctor explains that when you're misaligned physically, then the sparks of flow of energy is stagnant and constricted. So by aligning yourself, then your digestion and everything, all your systems, the circulation, everything works better. And trust me, when I was deciding whether to do chiropractic work, and let me tell you, I tried many things because I got in an accident, those of you who know, and then I got in an accident again. Yes, this was this year. And it exacerbated the first accident. It was not an accident like a car accident. You could laugh, but like I ran to save my son from getting hit, and I hit my head and I fell down. So my neck and my lower whatever, nothing was helping. I tried everything, and then my sister actually recommended me because she had seen differences in some of her family members and her. And at the same time, I was like debating what to do because I tried everything, and here are the results. And I opened Rabbi Ginsburg's book, and I was actually preparing for a class. The class was on spheres, and 10 or more years I've been reading this book. And what page did I just randomly open when I was trying to find my place? Chiropractic work is good. So I felt like Hashem was giving me a sign, do it. And guess what? It did help me. And guess what? I noticed also that I was, in a good place. I noticed things were shifting with my, having done not only for the other reasons, and those of you who heard that class when I did it, it actually helped previous accidents, car accidents, that they could see that my disc was like almost third level degeneration, that thank God I fell. And thank God I fell again because it was worse, that it forced me to not give up, because I was thinking, okay, so I'll just have to live with this pain. I tried. How much more can I try? How much more money? How much more running around? I'll leave it up to Shem, and I gave up. And then I fell again. The same way, don't ask. Whatever, like I can laugh about it now. I just can't believe it was the same thing. I hit my head, fell down, whatever. Hashem knew it had to be the same place. And so that could be a key component, to aligning your body, but aligning your soul. Like all these different things are important. So because it is the 9 days and we are not eating meat and chicken for these periods of time, I would like us to all together do the detox by Donna Gates. She has a book called Body Ecology, and I'm going to simplify it, and I simplified it for many people, and I saw it really helped them also lose weight. And I was doing it at the time, not because to lose weight, because I was very sickly. And I also tried everything for 5.5 years. I even gave in to conventional and it didn't help me. Then I went back to the natural and herbs and this and that, nothing. And then I did this detox, bam, 5.5 years in 1 week, gone. And I went back to the doctors and I said, and the test results were like crazy. My Hashimoto's was gone, and the other H. pylori was gone. Unbelievable. So let's all do this together during this period of time. So, because anyways, we're not eating meat and beef. And that's part of the protocol. Now, you can take it one day at a time and not do the whole 9 days program. And we're not going to do it during Shabbat. But even if you just do a half a day or 1 day, it's a baby step toward maybe next year, or in another 6 months, do it for 2 days. And the next time. But if you're really sick, of course, talk to your doctor. Consult with your holistic practitioner if this is good for you. I've never seen anyone not benefit from it, but I didn't do a research for 2,000 cases. But I have been to these retreats that do the detox. I go every year, sometimes twice a year, and never did I find anyone saying how it was not beneficial to them. And you know, there's 50, 200 people at these places. And one of these days we will organize one together, and not just on, you know, Facebook, let's do the detox together. I found a place in Palm Springs, but it was just so expensive. And they only have single beds, so it's like not possible to share the costs. Maybe for the rich people that can do it, I wish I can like do a fund and raise the money, and like I did the 4-day retreat for free in my home, to do it there. So we do the retreats in my home, and one day very soon we'll do the annual one coming up. Maybe after the high holidays, because I have too many guests visiting this year, and other things going on that it may have to be after the holidays. Anyway, so let's discuss the detox, and you'll take it at your pace. I'll go through it the whole week of what you'll be doing, and I'll give you like you know, ideas of if you can do it like this, what way you could start in a baby way. Her theory is too much food, it slows down the process of being able to use your own body energy to heal. So diminishing your food for that week in this way gives you the excess energy so that your body can, you know, heal and recuperate. So, so the idea is that in this retreat that I do, they do the light foods first, and then they go to juicing for a day or 3 with soups in the evening, so that you get your body used to a little less before you do the detox. So the recommendation, it's called in Alamot, is that we would have like, you know, no salt, no oil, no sugar, you know, it's kind of like a virgin diet. Everything not processed, for sure. No processed food. You actually can just have vegetables, and she suggests between, I guess, 60 and 80% vegetables, especially after 40. Of course, if you're pregnant, you're not going to do it. If you're nursing, you're not going to do it. I don't have to say that, but and this does help lose weight. People that I took to this retreat, my children, my mother, lost like 5 to 10 pounds in 1 week. Like, not to be believed, especially if you have weight to lose. So if you don't have so much weight to lose and you're in good shape, whatever, you might lose a couple of pounds of whatever little extra internal fat, even though you'll look the same. You know, it's really not about, you know, it's more the body composition of, you know, than how you really look. It's what's going on inside that's shedding the extra that's not good, that could be, you know, a dangerous area, especially in your abdomen. So after you do that one day, no sugar, no wheat, no, you know, it's just virgin food, you know, 80% green vegetables, and then maybe 20%. Or if you are not over 40 and you can't do 80% vegetables, go 50% vegetables, whatever it is. If you normally have 100% carb and no vegetables, okay, I understand it's going to be a little hard for you, but then just do half, something, some movement toward breaking the cycle of what you've been eating. And then the next day, again, if you don't want to juice and you're too weak to juice, don't do it. Then do the regular diet that she suggests. Again, 3 days, no oil, no salt, of course no sugar the whole time, and good oils, even when you do start after the 3 days. Meaning avocado oil, coconut oil, avocado, walnut oil, I don't know, but, you know, virgin, you know, first press, not chemicalized, not mixed with other fake oils that you don't know, like really, you know, virgin olive oils and virgin oils. And you could have cooked vegetables, you could have seaweed type of vegetables, and at night you can have like soups, but not the potato soups, the sweet potato soups, not those kind of starchy, butternut, nothing. just vegetables, zucchini, leek, whatever, green, yummy stuff. And you do that for 3 days. Now, if you can't, maybe just 1 day. Then, after those 3 days, okay, 1 day you ate light. You could have eaten with the oil. You could have eaten with the, Himalayan salt and all the good stuff. And then you start the diet. So after the 3rd day, which is kind of like the 4th day, you then can introduce the oils, the salt, the healthy salt, and you can have the fish and the eggs, and the light proteins. And then, again, 80% or 70%, 60%, whatever you can do, vegetables and very little of the grains. And when you eat the grains, you don't eat it with the protein. So if you're going to have lunch, quinoa. And some people don't like, quinoa, but the grains, she highly recommends teff and millet and kasha. Brown rice, not so recommended, but let's say you like brown rice, go for it. You know what I mean? Be happy. Do it so that you can do it. So after that, oh my gosh, you can't imagine how exhilarating a person feels at the end of this. How strong. I remember running, I mean, it was really hot, August heat, and I'm doing this detox because after I did it myself, I took my mom there, and capable of running like a light, like nothing. I couldn't believe it, Yes, in the beginning you can get you got to do it when you have a little time to heal and time to take it easy, and not during a time. And now I know it's summer and kids are home, and so it might not be the perfect time for you, but you can do a little bit of it, just a little step toward this detox, because you're not eating the fish and the chicken. Maybe for you it's just not mixing the carbs and the protein. Maybe for you it's just get out of the habit of the fake foods, the processed foods, even healthy processed foods. Supposedly gluten-free, but made with mostly potato starch. You know what I mean? So maybe that's your first step to detox. And it's the 9 days. I always tell people, your body is the house of your soul. You wouldn't throw highly chemically processed stuff in the Beit HaMikdash that's fuming and toxic, and no one can come in because you don't have those, danger, you see in the hospitals, I don't know what they're doing to give to these people, but they know this is chemicals here, and it's right, don't go in. You wouldn't do that to be able to go to the Holy of Holies to throw toxic chemicals. You wouldn't go to a toxic, factory and give me a glass of that, if you saw that really what it was made out of. It's fake, it's fraudulent, they put coloring, they make it taste good, whatever. You would just what? You wouldn't do that. So you wouldn't want to do it to the physical house of your soul. And yes, it's hard because there's so many smachot. And it's so tempting. But at least minimally, at your home, start there. Chuck out those fake stuff. Chuck out as much as possible when you go to the restaurants, the supermarkets, and you're about to pull something. Check it out. Spend less on those kinds of things. Spend more on a massage. Spend more on colonics, and detoxifying your gut from all the stuff that you had maybe been taking all these years. Besides antibiotics and all the other stuff that's been accumulating in your system. And I'm very into, colonics as well. And that also is a key ingredient of how to help get rid of the gook that's in your gut so that your systems will flow. Besides chiropractic, besides lymph massage. Okay, so you have to be rich? Well, I don't know. Find ways to less spend money on, whether it's your nails, whether it's your, shaitel, do much less and just curl it yourself as much as you can, save that, no offense to the shaitel people that you're going to not give them money to. Find ways to cut the corners so you could spend the money on your health. Too many people are suffering. I mean, they're saying diabetes too now is really the reasons for dementia and all the kinds of there's like so much going on in this world. Now, God can, and I'm telling you, who knows what God has in store for each and one of us, like, who knows? But at least we do our part. We don't just give up, okay? That's the way of the world. We'll get sick and, I like the title. One of the books I have is How to Die at a, How to Die at a Ripe Old Age. I don't know, I have to remember. But it was like, yeah, we don't have to be sick when we get older. There's so many videos of like these 100 centennial people doing the most incredible, like physically exerting that even 20-year-olds can't do, at 100. Please God for all of us. Again, each one and their journeys. And who knows, but at least we did our part. So, we always talk about also enough sleep, but I had so much more to cover, but I'm going to leave this for next week because I'm running into the time of what is allotted for me and the people that are joining. But I want to, during the support group time, if anyone has any question about how to do this detox, I'll review it really quickly again, and then we're going to have our question and answer portion. Facebook, you could ask questions, and I'll look at the questions here after. I'm not ignoring you. It's just, and then we will have we'll shut down Facebook. Those of you who want to join the support, and we'll discuss. We have many supporters here online today. So, all right, let us review. Eating less is healthy. Eating a lot less for a period of time to detox is very healthy, to reset everything and to flush out and get rid of the gunk, as well as give your time to help your body not use the energy to, to decompose the food. You need energy to decompose the food. So because you're not as much decomposing, you're really eating lightly, your body has extra energy to heal. And even if you're not sick, to lose weight, to shed the extra. And you can pace it. Highly recommended light foods to the day before so that your body gets ready. You think, oh, let me eat up, so then I can do this thing. No, you got to gradually get your body ready to be able to do this. And that's why people who overeat before the fast, oh my gosh, it's not the way to go. You have to get your body ready for eating less. And the 9 days end of fast, it might help you too for that. And then you do either a couple of days juicing, but if you can't, you don't have time, you don't have Uber Dash that can get you those healthy juices out there, you don't have time to make the soup, then don't eat the meat and the chicken, which anyways is the 9 days. Don't mix carbs and proteins. And the main ingredient is no fat, no oil, no salt, and whole grain like seeds for those 3 days. Then the fourth day is, which is the fifth really, but the fourth day from starting really, then it's, again, 50 to 60, and after 40, you can do 80% vegetables and like a bird seeds, like that amount. And then you can have the great oil, the great, you could add the fish and the eggs, but don't eat it together. And that's it. And expect maybe in the beginning you'll be a little weak. Now when I do it, I never feel the weakness. Like when I first started, but I was already kind of in a good place. Some people are, I wasn't eating fake foods, and I wasn't eating, packaged foods, So it was easier for me. And when I took other people and I noticed that were there the first year that are into all this fake foods, it's a little, you can get a little headache, you can get a little weak, but not bad, not really bad, and worth it. So, but as long as you keep hydrated, during those days, then you'll be fine. It should not affect you in any negative way. So that's it. Are we in together to do this? Isn't this it's a huge miracle that the 9 days came, and we've been starting this health retreat online until we do the one again in person. So I'm going to look for questions. Wow, a lot of interaction here. I'm so happy. The heart is deceitful above all things, and wow, if Hashem searches the heart, I test the mind, even to give every man according to his ways, according to the fruit of his doings. Okay, wow. Yirmiyahu, thank you for sharing that. Wow, you're in that stage in your life. Okay, so there's no questions. Please share the name. The name of the book, Donna, that one, Donna Gates. Her book is called Body Ecology. I have a health book, Reaching New Heights Through Health and Happiness, and a lot of what I spoke about today is in that book. And we're really finishing up the cookbook. It's been kind of imprisoned, which Sarah has been helping me, and Hannah's been helping me to really get it going, but we're waiting for the graphics. But there's always something that somehow gets in the way when someone I hire, then they can't. So we're just waiting patiently. But if you know anyone who can help with graphics, send them my way to finalize this cookbook. And in this book is the detox program and more of what I've shared in keeping ourselves, with the ability to cook healthier, because it's very hard for people. They don't know. How do I cook the children healthier? How do I cook the kugel healthier? So I can't wait for that. Anyway, so no questions I don't see on the chat. I'm looking. All right, so then maybe we can go toward the support part of our group. I was asking the group, you can go to our channel. We have a WhatsApp kind of channel that we give support, and that's where we post the upcoming classes for this specifically. I don't post my other classes on there, so that's my other group if you want to join. But and people are willing to volunteer to give you support. You could text on that group, and we answer questions. So I asked on that group today, who would like to do the meditation first, or do the support group and then the meditation? I did not see the responses. Oh yeah, great. Wonderful. So those of you who want to be on the group, you can message me on Messenger, or I'll post it. I did post it before. I'll post it again. But let me see where my group support leaders are. Maybe they'd like to go first and then do the meditation last. Go for it. Sarah, are you here? And Hannah, I know Hannah is dealing with some family dynamics that she can't be so much available. But wow. How exciting that you're here. Oh my gosh, you've been amazing. All of my team members, so amazing. So,
can you hear me okay?
Yeah, now we can.
Okay, Baruch Hashem.
And I should announce you every time anew, of your credentials. She actually led support groups for AA. Yeah, and she has some master's degrees and certificates, and she got a CBTT certificate as well from my organization and my, well, anyway, go ahead. I just want to, show off about you.
I appreciate you. Do you want to do the meditation?
I think let's do the support first, and meaning your part and what you wanted to share to do today, and then we'll do the meditation. Because that way people can leave, yeah. combination, basically. I'm wondering if I could put this together because they don't see you.
See me?
Maybe this way? I don't know. Okay, maybe this way. No, meaning for Facebook. I'm trying. Hold on, I'm going to switch it. See you soon.
Okay.
I don't know if they can see you.
Okay. So, does everybody getting their items together? I need to get a thumbs up from everybody when we're good. Everybody has what we need.
Thumbs up.
All right. Okay. So I forgot where it was. I cannot remember off the top of my head. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I think it was Rabbi Yitzhak Ginsburg Sleet's books, but I'm not for sure. But it was about, he mentioned the power of names and how in the beginning, the first way man exhibited wisdom is when God gave Adam the ability to name the animals. So every animal had a spirit, and he saw the spirit behind the animal, and he named it, right? So we know that names have power. Miriam Yerushalmi mentioned about pleasure and finding, pleasure with the detoxification, and it's like reset and revive. So I wanted to name this term rectification or reformation of the water element. We've been talking about the elements these past couple support groups, from the beginning, and Rebecca Yerushalmi touched on a little bit as well today. So we're going to specifically focus on the water element, right? And for the very chapter 1 said, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth was out form and void, and the darkness filled the face of the deep, and the Spirit of the Lord hovered over the face of the water. Coming here today, the water. Okay, so water element. Now, this is what I would like you to do. Please give your water element a name. This part of you that is water, give it a name. Whatever you want to name it. Whatever you want to name it. Give it a name. And once everybody's given this part of their element, the water element, a name, give me a thumbs up so I know we can move forward. Please. Or maybe put a thumbs up in the chat. That might be helpful. Give you a few more seconds to come up with a name. You're going to write that at the top of your paper. Write it big. A name that you feel comfortable with. All right, give it one more minute, and then we're going to move forward. Okay. All right. Now that you've named your water part, your element, your water element part, right? Now that you've named it, okay. Now I want you to take your blue pen, marker, crayon, whatever, on the right side of the paper. Okay. I want you to write down all the good things as it relates to this part of you that's pleasure. All the things, like think about the good things that this part of you has ever done as it relates to food. The times when you eaten for pleasure, you was eating in a good way, and the pleasure, you felt the pleasure, but it was in a healthy way, and you were revived. Your soul was revived. So write that on the right side. All the good as it relates to your pleasure part. And blue on the on the right side, right? Let's get acquainted with this part of ourselves that's the good part about, with the cooking and the eating and, being creative and all of that stuff that brings joy and vitality on the right. Okay, we'll give it about 1 more minute, and then we're going to move to the right, to the left side. If you have time, you can write a quick pleasurable experience, real quick as relates to food and, and all that with health and healing. And also, that's all right. It's all right. Okay. Give a couple more minutes. Okay, we're going to move on. Now, on the left side of your paper, I want you to take your either red, pen, marker, or whatever you have that's red, and on the right side, write all the times when you've engaged in pleasure in it, with food and cooking, and it has not been successful. So write that on, really short. It doesn't have to be like long, sentences, just statements, because it's just for your own, So we're going to do that on the left side. I want you, this is us getting acquainted intrapsychically with this part, this element of ourself, of our soul, of the book that we mentioned, Get to Know Your Soul, right? So we're getting acquainted with our soul, this element, right? So the right side and the left side. So we're on the left side. What were the times when it wasn't, when you engaged in pleasure, it wasn't good, and you wish you would have used some restraint. Think about those times when you possibly gained weight, or you got sick, or you had an allergic reaction to something that you knew you shouldn't eat, but you just wanted it, you had to have it. Think about those moments. Those moments when you just could not tell yourself no, and you regretted it the next morning. Time when you didn't tell yourself no, and you on a scale and you're like, oh my gosh. Bad. Put it on the left with the red. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet. Okay. I'm gonna give y'all 1 more minute to try to put that down. Okay. All right. So now we're gonna make a connection. Let's come up with a plan. Okay. We got to know the right part of our water element, right? The parts that the good side of it. We've got to know the side of it that we not so good, right? That we need to work on. Now we're gonna tie it in and bring it down, bring it to a connection with the green, right? Let's come up with 3 things, right? Where we can reconcile the two. How can we reconcile this side and this side and bring it together for the sake of understanding and working with bonding with this part of this element, this part of our soul, and the way we will be beneficial in our eating, in our in our eating habits, and how we think about our eating habits, and how we think about our body images, how we think about ourselves, and all of that kind of stuff. How can we tie it into the bottom? So the bottom under the bottom of the paper, you're writing 3 things, 3 ways, whatever you want to write, to reconcile the two. Look at the good. Look at where you haven't done so well, and how can we heal? How can we reform? How can we transform? Or how can we elevate? 3 things. Does I'll give you about a couple minutes to do that. 3 things with the green. Okay, I give you 1 more minute.
Could you give examples of joining the two?
Okay, so let's say on the good side, with my pleasure side, let's say with cooking, okay? On the good side, there was a time when I used my pleasure principle to make this healthy recipe, and it came out really, really, really good. Like, I made this meatless taco, and it was very good, right? So I didn't need to use meat, and I was able to use herbs and spices, right, to bring out the good scent and all that, and it came out really good. That made me feel good. It was good. It was healthy. My family, benefited from it, right? On the side of the left, right, I didn't grow up, with the Torah. I grew up in the church, so we ate a whole bunch of unkosher foods. Majority of our diet was unkosher, so you can imagine what our diet looked like, right? So before that, I was going to McDonald's. You see how? But then as I started learning the Torah, right, I had to stop eating McDonald's. McDonald's isn't good, right? So on the right, it was a side when I cooked good, healthy, good food, good pleasure, right? On the left side is when I did not. And then after learning the Torah, right, I did eat out. Not at McDonald's, but somewhere else, fast food that's not, good standards, right? I feel bad about that. How do I marry the two? All right. What did I like at that place that I ate at? Was it the French fries? How can I learn how to make that in a healthy way and make it taste like that? But I don't have to go there. Now I've eliminated that issue, because that's no longer a hold on me, because I cook something that tastes better than that. And my family got something healthy. It brings me pleasure. Baruch Hashem, there's a unity, there's a connection. Does that make sense? Did I answer your question?
Yes, great. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
And I want to be your friend. I love you.
Your friend too. Okay, everybody understand the exercise? If it's a thumbs up, or I can't see you, so I'm just looking at the screen, so I'm just going to go with a thumbs up, and then, that I see it. So what I just took you through was what Rabbi Yitzhak Ginsburg taught. Rabbi Yitzhak Ginsburg Shlita, I believe he was from the Bahamas, transform your inner enemy into an inner ally. That's all I have. Thank you.
Wow, wow. Oh boy, 1 second. One second. Hi, I'm trying to get the video back on. Can you hear me? I moved the thing. Here, video? Here we go. Amazing. I don't know, where's the video of me? Okay, you don't have to see me, I guess, but it's trying to, it's just, I don't know, sometimes I touch the buttons and it just doesn't work. But at least they saw me in the beginning. Wow, so beautiful, amazing. I like the idea of the separation and all that you shared. I mean, like the separation of the water, you know, because when God separated water, right? He separated waters. It's like so beautiful. And we have to separate the waters. The waters of the pleasures of our animal soul and separated from the waters of and the waters above heaven. It's genius, beautiful. Love it, love it. Amazing. You are such a part of our team, and it's so exciting that people can enjoy your spirit like I do. And wow. So if anybody wants to do now the next part of the program, I don't see any questions still yet, so we can do the meditation and sign off for this week till next week. I think I'm going to do one more month of health and healing because we didn't cover barely. I think Karen is here. Before we do the meditation, I actually wanted to have her come on because she's also been a key ingredient to my health and my health journey. I have to really give her a hot process. I met her, was it at a Pace Off retreat? I'm trying to remember where. And she was talking about this healing water, and I'm like, and she was willing to give me and share her healing water the whole 8 days, and I felt like another person. We're going to have a full class on this, but I know she's available now. I know she is shy. She doesn't like so much to speak. But since I saw her name, I'm like, I want to give her credit. I want to give her a hot cross at the pole for you know, the unbelievable connection. Oh, now I remember how I met her. There was an autistic boy who was not sleeping well, and he was at my home. And the people that were here were going crazy about this healing. And that's talking about the healing because of their miracle stories. And the wife was going on about her miracles and also with the baby. So then I got introduced to the healing. That's a whole other class. And then there, I guess she came to the retreat that I posted in my groups, and then I met her in person, and then she shared her water, and then like I can tell you since drinking alkaline water, and I have many books on alkaline water, and we will get to that topic, but she's here, so I thought I'd give her credit. Are you here? Will you come on and say a few words? Because that week that I was in that retreat, not a detox retreat, but a Pace-Off spiritual retreat, I couldn't believe how good I was feeling that I didn't need my healing every 5 seconds. It was the best year of that program where, because I don't sleep, I do the teaching all night, twice in the retreat. I had been traveling, I just come back, so I was sleep deprived from jet lag and was functioning at optimal level because I was drinking the alkaline water that she introduced me to. So we will have a full class on it. I have 2 books, one alkaline or die, and other books on why it's so important to eat and more alkaline and drink more alkaline. Are you there, Karen? Yay! So unbelievable. You've been a lifesaver, life jacket for my well-being, and people should get to know you more. People should get to you, and she always offers, charity and organization when I send people her way. So go ahead, share before we do the meditation part. Anything?
The funny thing is, on my right side,
the truth. But the reason our water helps even more is because it's alkalized and ionized, and it's hydrogen rich. So it actually neutralizes the free radicals in your body that attack your cells. And it neutralizes acidity. And acidity is a cause for disease, right? For example, cancer cannot grow in an alkaline environment. Dr. Warburg in 1921 won a prize for that, for discovering that. So we actually have a lot of people who do have that disease who come to drink our water because they need to make their body as alkaline as possible. So there has to be a balance, of course. Life is all about balance, but our water really helps keep you healthy, keeps you hydrated. I live in Nevada. Okay, I live in the desert. It's, I think, 111 degrees right now. You can bet I was outside watering my friend's roses, and I was drinking tons of my water because I don't want to get dehydrated. And right now, our hospitals are filled with people that are suffering from dehydration. Also, when you're born, you're like 99% water. And unfortunately, when everybody passes, they pass dehydrated. People don't realize how much water they need. I don't know if you guys know this. I know there were commercials a long time ago for some of you who are a little older that would say, all you need is 8 glasses of water a day. Well, we're all different sizes,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
So the way we measure how much you need is if you're healthy and you drink half your body weight in ounces of water. There are 128 ounces in a gallon. And if you do have some health issues, then you want to drink 1 ounce per pound. It's very, very important because people don't realize how much water you need. We lose like 3 liters of water a day through like aspiration, perspiration, urination. So you need to fill that water back up in your body, and you want to fill it up with the best water possible. The other thing people don't realize, people come to me and go, but I drink a lot of water. I drink Arrowhead or whatever. What people don't realize is there's a couple of things about bottled water.
Yes.
One, the container is it. Okay? Does it contain BPA? Even if it's not, there are other chemicals that aren't so good. Is that water being stored in a hot warehouse where the plastic is, whatever those chemicals are leaching into the water? And also, bottled water starts as most bottled water starts as reverse osmosis water. And reverse osmosis water is not good for people. The reason it's not good is because it has nothing in it. It's kind of like distilled water. They developed it for the Navy when the people were out on the ships for long periods of time, and they had to find a way of getting enough water for everyone. So they came up with reverse osmosis. They would just take seawater, they put it through reverse osmosis, and it would come out clean. It would have nothing in it. So it has nothing good, nothing bad. But the problem is that your body needs calcium, magnesium, and potassium to process water.
Right, and
so
also the chemicals from the bottle, though.
You know, my parents' age, they had, I've got reverse osmosis under my sink. I'm so excited. Great. Those are the people, unfortunately, that came up with osteopenia, osteoporosis. Why? Because they weren't getting the minerals that they needed. So then, bottled water companies figured that out, and they decided, you know what, we better put these minerals back in water. Okay, we need to put them in artificially, though, and to taste. So that's why you can drink Arrowhead, and you can drink Nestle Pure Water or whatever, and they taste different, but they're water, right? Because they put in the minerals to taste, and that's why it's different. But they're not necessarily natural. Sometimes, if we're keeping kosher and stuff, well, where are they getting these minerals from, right? So, that's why we turn to our water, which is an ionizer, and it hooks up to your sink, to your kitchen sink, and it takes the water and it puts it through a double carbon filter to take out all the contaminants. And then it goes into a chamber that has titanium plates dipped in platinum where it gets electrolyzed. And it gets separated into negatively charged water and positively charged water. And the negatively charged water is the one that we drink, the ionized alkalized water. And it's hydrogen rich. And I know, Miriam, when you pour a glass of it, you actually see the mineral, you see the hydrogen molecules in the water. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And so it's wonderful water, and I share it with so many people. People come to my house, and for me, sharing it is nothing because I already have my ionizer, my Kangen ionizer. They're made in Japan. They last forever, 25, 30 years. There's no moving parts, and they produce actually 7 different types of water. We were just talking about the drinking waters, and they come in different levels. They come in 8.5, 9, and 9.5.
Stains really do go away with that water.
And they also make waters like antibacterial water and water to wash your fruits and vegetables and clean water. So there's a lot to them. So I know I've been talking a lot, so maybe I can ask if anybody has any questions.
I'm trying to unmute this. I don't want to unmute.
Miriam? Are you there?
I'm there, but it's not allowing me to unmute. If you're on Facebook, you hear this. Hold on. I'm trying.
I have a question.
Yes.
Where do you have a website that you can provide? Where can we go to purchase this water you're mentioning?
Okay. So the thing is, they don't sell the water itself. The reason is it has a 3-day shelf life. Okay. So all the properties that are so healthy, they dissipate. So that's why the best thing is...
I have to go back on, maybe. Hold on. So sorry. Can't get back on. Oh, boy. Okay, join meeting. Here we go. Join. Dial in.
Recording in progress. There's a subscription. You can pay like a monthly subscription. You can go get water from there. I don't know if you've got one locally. It depends where you live. Otherwise, if you want to put your cell phone number or email, however you want me to contact you, I can send you some videos. I can send you some information and links to provide you more information. And if anybody lives in Las Vegas, they're welcome to come here and actually try the water, because as Miriam knows, the best thing to do is just try the water. That's what I did with her. Just drink the water and you'll feel the difference. And then, like for myself, the water does all my heavy lifting. I have people drink water, they feel different, they love it. And it also detoxifies you, right? So that's why I always start people out at the lowest level, the 8.5, because sometimes you get detoxified. Depends if someone's on medication or something, and it goes through you and it just cleans you out.
I kept talking, but nobody could hear me, so I logged out. So that's why. And then I noticed it was on mute because I'm not on a computer, and it's very difficult. Once I mute it, I can't get back in. Sorry to disturb you, but I was there and I was answering it, and I was actually talking to you, but you couldn't hear me the whole time. I was wondering. Wow.
I have a question, if you don't mind. I happen to live in the middle of nowhere, and we have a well. We have our own well.
Wow.
And the water comes through the well, and then we have a carbon filter for the house. So it comes through the carbon filter and then into the sink. But I'm one of those that I have that reverse osmosis filter in my sink. So I actually have been drinking reverse osmosis because I've been worried about parasites through the well water. But it sounds like from what you're saying that the well water would be healthier.
The well water would be healthy.
What do you think?
I don't know much about it, but I know people that are on well water are supposed to be really good water, but I don't know anything about it. Seriously.
Wow.
Okay.
So I don't know. But your kitchen sink is not, in most homes, the way they're built, if you've got a whole house filter or whatever, your kitchen sink isn't connected to that. So that's why you've got your reverse osmosis on that kitchen sink. Now, some reverse osmosis companies will come in and bring you different cartridges to bring in the calcium, magnesium, and potassium in there. But again, what's the source of those? I have no idea. Someone told me seashells or something. I'm like, okay, I don't know, whatever. For the calcium part, I don't know.
What I do have to say is when I was on reverse osmosis for many years and I got sick and I went to Or Chaya Biton and I spent like, I don't know, $1,000 for that reverse osmosis or more. She's like, throw it out. Don't even give it to anyone. Don't even try to sell it to anyone. Throw it out. And I just threw it out because, and then it's just, because the way she was describing it is so harmful.
Yeah.
And that's what bottled water starts out as, believe it or not.
Yes.
But again, these companies got smart and they add the minerals in.
And by the way, I also have to thank Orachai Biton. Maybe I'll send her this link. Like, she was the one who really got me into, detox and like colonics and things like that, and gut health. So that was, so definitely anti-cancer, anti-inflammation, all those things that we're trying to do while we detox. You get that by drinking alkaline water.
Yeah, and you have to be very careful. Miriam, just so you know, we call ours alkalized water because, so we came here they came from different Japan. The machines are made in Okinawa, Japan. And they came to the United States in 2002, I believe. They're celebrating their 20th year here, so 2002, 2003, whatever. And before then, you didn't see alkaline water stores, every other block. And now you do. And that's because we introduced alkalized water. Now, to make alkaline water, to tell you the truth, you can put baking soda in water. That raises the alkalinity of the water. In fact, I was on a plane on the way home from some trip, and this guy said, Israel, they've got the cure for cancer. I'm like, really? Really? Yeah, it's baking soda and water. I'm like, alkaline water, there you go. So I don't think it tastes very good, but you can do that. That's why sodium bicarbonate, that's what's added to water to make it alkaline. We don't add anything to the water. We just alkalize it through the ionization process, where we split the water. So you're only drinking negatively charged water. So, and I have videos. I have tons and tons of videos.
Yeah, I put that video you sent me on my front page on my Facebook because I think more people have to know about this. I'm very into prevention of illness. I mean, all my life ill, all my life seeing people ill, all my life. It's just a tragedy. So, and why not spend the money now and not have to run around and spend the money to heal yourself when, like I did and like so many.
Right. So our body is 75% water. Our brain is 85% water. It's very important to put the right water in your body. So some people, they're drinking I've seen this analogy there, where people, a dirty fish tank, like fish living in dirty water, right? You're like, ew, right? Well, that's when we're feeding our bodies bad water. That's kind of what it's like. You want to live in a clean tank. You want to have your, so it's very important, the type of water that you drink, and people just don't realize this. And honestly, I gotta say, Baruch Hashem, we don't get sick. Didn't get COVID, don't get sick.
Baruch Hashem. Really,
Hashem,
I mean, every year when I'm fasting, people can't believe I'm giving classes, I'm not tired, I don't have a headache, and, the whole process of eating right, detoxing, drinking the right water makes a difference daily. But it could also, please God, really be an insurance policy for the future.
Yes, 100%.
All right, so we're going to do a class on water. I have, maybe not this next time, but the next time, because I did already prepare something for today, but I didn't cover it. And so because I prepared it, I'm going to do it next week, and then the week following, we'll do the water class. Maybe actually next week we'll do the water class, and then I'll use this the week following because I have guests. Maybe that's an idea. Okay, we'll think about it. Anyway, thanks for joining and sharing and saving my life and the lives of many. And really, I love you so much. You're a dear soul sister, and can't wait to see that more people are benefiting from what you've given me that benefited me so much. So let's do the meditation part. We're going to ask Sarah, since I do have family members here, we're going to leave soon, to do the meditation part, something that was already pre-recorded, and I'm going to let the Facebook stay on, and everything will stay on while I'm getting ready to go, and then we'll say goodbye till next week. Oh, tonight we're having a class, LA Soul Sisters, unbelievable class. I have to say, I did it Shabbat. There's more to what I'm going to be sharing because there were two speakers. Now I'm the only speaker, so I'll have more time to share this night, tonight, double duty, double classes today, 8 p.m. I think. I'll post the flyer at the CPY Chabad Persian Youth Chabad House. See you there. So I'm gonna let you see the greenery for the meditation part. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Karen. And post her number for those who want to get reached by her. Let her know that you got to this desire to get the system, that you got it through this event, and she will give a portion of her sale to SANE, and we'll go from there. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to start the eating meditation like you said.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
On your body, position yourself as comfortably as you can, allowing your body to get to a very relaxed state. Begin to take very deep cleansing breaths. Any unwelcome thought can be sent out with the breath. For the moment, release it with every breath you take. As you begin to feel more and more relaxed, you actually can see yourself walking toward a very special place. This place was meant for you. It's a quiet, peaceful place. Being in this place helps you feel safe. The beauty of this place nourishes you. Penetrating warmth surrounds you. There's a peaceful stillness. The stillness that is so peaceful reaches deep within you, to your very center. Enjoy the moments and all the beauty around you. You really needed this time for yourself. Just get away. It's so relaxed. It's so calm. So, you begin to see a little child approaching. This child is so
I think this is.
Should I keep going or turn it?
Oh, this is again the inner child one. Maybe on my website it's designed wrong, because I thought I was giving you the eating one. I don't know. It says in the.
Recording in progress.
Hi, can you hear me now? I'm trying. Okay, maybe we'll just say goodbye. We'll do it for another time. I mean, you can continue it, but it's okay. It happened. I don't know why it's not allowing me.
We're no longer hearing the meditation.
Oh, okay. I don't think. Let me keep it playing. 'Cause it looked like she want me to turn it off.
No. I was. No.
So innocent. She was so lovable. As she comes closer to you, you realize this child is you. Take a moment. Give her all the attention she deserves. Take the time to give her all that she wanted years ago. Reassure her that she's a gift of God to the world, a precious Neshama. You begin to be the parent she always wanted. This child feels protected. She feels now appreciated more than ever. She feels loved. You begin to see a deep smile of contentment, security, and a feeling of warmth surrounds the two of you. You are both attuned to one and another's needs. Something very powerful is happening here. A wonderment is in the air. And you have the strength now to take hold of her hand. A beautiful moment of bonding. This bonding continues to grow. You allow a warm presence to hover all around you and all around her. Together, you stand. Together, you walk hand in hand. The waves of nourishing comfort lands right into the heaviness of your heart. And the armor that was once around your heart begins to melt from this love and from this comfort. You feel your heart begin to heal, to mend. Your heart softens. This love and this sweetness helps you to begin anew. And you feel more alive. Something is shifting in you. Powerful, healing from this precious moment of bonding. As you continue to walk along, looking deeply into each other's eyes, holding each other's hand, not wanting to let go. You realize you don't have to. You are always together. You are never alone. This vision is so calming, so heartwarming. You continue to cling to your own precious, beautiful self. And you really think about how good this really feels. You never have to let go. You are one. You are not alone. You feel blessed. You feel grace. You feel safe. You finally feel free. To be able to really, truly appreciate yourself and really see the good within. Stop and you realize that soon you're going to be leaving this vision, that you reassure yourself you can always come back and return to this precious vision, to this very peaceful, loving place. You have done important healing work. You are better for this. And so you are finally free to be. Take a moment and you say to yourself, I love you. I love you.
That's it.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much. The reason why I was putting my finger, like, this is not the I think there might be.
I think she closed out a Zoom. Is it just, I don't know, or not closed out a Zoom. Are we still recording? We are. Okay. Miriam Yerushalmi, are you there?
Oh boy.